Let's continue our discussion on the Zang organs. In particular, let's talk about the spleen. Our discussion on the spleen will revolve around these two key points. First, the physiological functions of the spleen, which includes governing transportation and transformation, governing ascent of the clear, and that the spleen controls of the blood. The second is the systemic relationship of the spleen, which includes the spleen is related to the muscle in the body constituent and dominates the forelimbs. The spleen opens into the mouth and shines at the lips. The spleen corresponds to thinking and emotion, and saliva is the fluid of the spleen. The spleen is located under the diaphragm, in the upper abdomen and left upper corner of the stomach. There are three physiological functions of the spleen: governing transportation and transformation, raising the governing the blood. The systemic relationships of the spleen with the body are as follows. The spleen governs the muscle of the body and forelimbs and is associated with thinking and emotion, with mouth in orifice, and with saliva in secretion. Now let's go to the physiological functions of the spleen. Its first function, governing transportation and transformation. The spleen is in charge of transforming food and water into essential substances and transporting essence to the viscera, as well as the tissues all over the body. There are two aspects about this: transforming and transporting food, and transforming and transporting body fluids. So transforming and transporting of food. Spleen can digest the food and absorb its essential substances. The spleen can take part in the different stages of food digestion. First, the spleen chi promotes the digestive function of the stomach and small intestine. After entering the stomach and small intestine, the food is digested and absorbed. This process actually takes place in the stomach and small intestine, but it must depend on the promotion of the spleen chi. Second, spleen chi promotes the absorption of stomach and small intestine. Stomach and small intestine can digest food into the essence and absorb the essence and transport them to the whole body. The absorption of essence by the stomach and small intestine must depend on the function of spleen chi. Lastly, the spleen chi sends up the essence to the whole body. Due to the fact that body fluid and food are not only the chief source of the nutrients which a human being needs to keep life activities, but also the material basis for producing chi and blood, CCM believes that spleen provides the material basis for the acquired constitution and is the source of producing chi and blood. When spleen chi is abundant, so are the chi, blood, and body fluids. The functions of viscera and meridians will be normal. If the spleen loses its function in transformation and transportation, clinically there will appear the manifestations of abdominal distension, diarrhea, anorexia, lassitude, emaciation, and so on. Next, let's discuss transforming and transporting the body fluids. Transforming and transporting the body fluids refers to the function of absorbing and transporting the body fluids to avoid fluid retention inside the body. During the fluids to lung and kidney and excretes them out through sweat and urination. When the spleen functions properly in transforming and transporting the body fluids, the pathological stagnation of the fluids may be avoided and the equilibrium of water metabolism of the body will be maintained. On the contrary, if there is a dysfunction of the spleen in transforming and transporting the body fluids, it will lead to stagnation or accumulation of water in the body and result in the syndrome of damp phlegm or stagnant phlegm and even edema. This is the mechanism of the development of damp syndrome, phlegm syndrome, fluid retention syndrome, and edema resulting from deficiency of spleen. The two aspects of transforming and transporting the food as well as body fluids by the spleen are interrelated and inter-influenced. The disorders between the two often appear at the same time pathologically. Thank you for your attention.